Welcome to Raj Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sirdana and this is Prelims Sprint 2022, where we will be discussing the most essential topics for cracking this year's UPSC Civil Services Prelims. The topic for today is an important environment and biodiversity reports. This is the part 1 of this series of reports, and today we will be discussing two very important reports from which questions have been recurrently asked by UPSC in prelims examination. The disclaimer for today is that these reports and indices are covered only from prelims point of view. Secondly, it is accepted that direct reports might not be asked, but statements will be definitely seen in the question from the facts and data that we'll be covering today. We are taking two topics for today. The first one is the very important India State of Forest Report 2021, and the second one is Tiger Census of 2018, which was released in 2019. It has been in news, and Tiger Census, any latest Tiger Census is very important from our exams point of view. So beginning with India State of Forest Report 2021. India State of Forest Report is a biennial publication that is released in once in 2 years by Forest Survey of India, which is an organization under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So it is released by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change every 2 years. Keep that in mind. It's not an annual report. And why do we release India State of Forest Report? As you can see that according to National Forest Policy of India, our target, the target for India is that we aim to achieve 33% of geographical area of our country under forest cover. We want this. The National Forest Policy of India 1988 envisaged a goal of achieving 33% of the geographical area of the country under forest plus tree cover. So we release this report every 2 years to assess that how much achievement have we got with time, what is our improvement in terms of improving forest and tree cover. The first cover of this report was published in 1987, and this ISFR is 17th report in line. It has been released every 2 years. So why is it used? Because where is it used? For planning and making policies by Government of India and various state governments, and giving data about our forest cover to international agencies, for example the Food and Agriculture Organization. Many reports which come on international level, especially by FAO, use the data given by individual countries, and this report forms a part of it. So that's why we conduct forest survey, this ISFR, every second year. And the special part about this year's report is that 3 new chapters have been added, which are very important, and the data about those chapters we will be discussing in subsequent slides. The first one is forest cover in tiger reserves and tiger corridors has been assessed. So not just tiger reserves, the 52 tiger reserves that are there in our country, but also the tiger corridors therein. So keep this fact in mind, and we'll study about the data that has been given about these areas. The above ground biomass estimation has been done. And the third one, and the most interesting one, is that according to timeline, short term, mid term and long term, 3 years have been chosen. The first one is the short term 2030. The second one is 2050 for the mid term, and the third one is 2085 for long term. And it has been predicted, according to the data available, predictions have been made that what will be the status of climate hotspots in India. Some areas or some states per se have been recognized which are very vulnerable to climate change, and what will be the impact of climate change or change in forest cover, rainfall pattern in these years 2030, 2050 and 2085. This has been given in the report as an entirely separate chapter. We will discuss the trends about these in the coming slides. So this is all what you have to remember. Moving on. Now what you have to keep in mind that the total forest plus tree cover in the country has increased. It has increased with time in consonance with our aim of National Forest Policy of 1988. So it has increased by 80.9 million hectares, which is 24.62% of total geographical area. This is the total forest plus tree cover. See, there are two concepts. One is forest cover, other is tree cover. What you are studying here is an addition of both. So whenever you see a data in the exam, just note down that what the examiner is asking, which data is being asked. For example, separately the forest cover of India is, right now it is 21.71% of the total geographical area of the country. And there is a lot of categorization that goes around in making this report. For example, here it has been categorized, the forests have been categorized into very dense forest, moderately dense forest, open forest. These three are the categorizations. There is scrub also, it is not counted in total forest cover. So, moving on. So, first of all, let's start by defining what is forest cover, which area is counted as forest cover and which are the areas which are not counted under forest cover. Let's take an example here. For example, this is a patch of land. This is a patch of land and this is 1 hectare in size or more than 1 hectare, not less than that. So, this is 1 hectare in size. It has some trees or canopy or like crown area. And these trees make up for more than 10% of this total patch. This is the area of total patch and these trees make more than of 10%. So, if this tree cover is more than 10%, then this area is counted as forest cover, otherwise it is not counted as forest cover. The other one is tree cover. Tree cover is basically patches of trees which are isolated here and there outside the recorded forest area. So, I hope this concept is clear. Moving on, since I told you that there is a categorization in the report in terms of forest, there is only one category which has seen a decline in the forest area. This is moderately dense forest have seen a decline, otherwise open forest, scrub and very dense forest, they have seen an increase. The increase has been highest in open forest, which is followed by very dense forest. The downside of this increasing forest area is, the downside which has not been talked about in the report or any government documents, is that the natural forest of our country which were there in their pristine form, they are declining due to deforestation, due to man-made activities, but the artificial forests which we are planting now, they are increasing. So, the natural forests have a lot of environmental significance in place which cannot be replaced by artificial forest. So, make sure that you keep this fact in mind when you are attempting prelims. The next one is that 17 states of the country have more than 33% of geographical area under forest cover. So, in our forest policy, we have this 33% forest cover for the entire country. This is the target, but 17 states including UT, 17 are already there who have their individual geographical area under forest cover by 33%, which is already 33% or more than 33% in 17 states and UTs. Such facts are always asked recurrently in prelims. Keep these facts in mind, whichever are given in the legal reports, in the official reports of any ministry, and this is one of the most important reports there. So, out of these states and UTs, 5 states, namely Lakshadweep, Mizoram, Andaman Nicobar Islands, Arunachal and Meghalaya, have more than 75% forest cover. As you can see that the total forest and tree cover is almost 1/4 of the total geographical area of the country. So, we are way behind the aim of National Forest Policy. There is no deadline or target attached to it, but we are way behind it, but still we have almost 1/4 of area under it. Here, this is directly from the ISFR report. This is a list of top 10 countries for forest area in the world. Which are these countries? First of all, India is a part of these top 10 countries which are under the highest forest cover. So, India is at the 10th position here. The other countries which are there are Russian Federation, Brazil, Canada, USA. Their data is attached here that Russia has almost 50% of its geographical area under forest cover, while India has almost 24.62%. The second one is Brazil, third one is Canada. So, you should remember this ranking, that where does India rank in terms of total forest area, total forest and tree cover, in terms of where is its position in the whole world. So, it is at 10th position. Also, from 2010 to 2020, there are some countries which have seen a positive change in their forest area. Which are these countries? The first one is China. It has seen an increase of 0.93%. The second one is Australia, and here India is at third position. So remember this ranking, especially the place of India with respect to other countries. We've seen a positive change of 0.38% from 2010 to 2020 in like 1 decade. Now the stock of bamboo, we have National Bamboo Mission in place. We have a lot of economic activities going behind bamboo. So the stock of bamboo in the country has increased, and the total mangroves in the country has seen an increase by 4992 square kilometer. The exact data for these is not important. Just remember what increases there, what decreases there, and if you are a very like a genius kind of a student, then you can remember the individual data also, but otherwise it is not required. Just estimation would be enough, but make sure that whatever is highlighted here, whatever is tick marked, download the PDF and read it from there. So here we'll study the data for mangroves. Mangroves are very important part of an very important ecosystems of the country. So here we'll discuss about mangroves a little bit in detail. So there is one state in which the mangroves have seen a decline. That state is Gujarat. Gujarat here at third number, it has seen a decline of -2 with respect to 2019. It has seen a decline in area under mangroves. The highest area under mangroves is in, as you can see, it is here in West Bengal, 2114 square kilometers. So remember the main points here, that which are the states which have mangroves in India. This has already been asked by UPSC previously. So there are 12 states or UTs which have mangrove area, mangrove cover or mangrove type of ecosystem. The highest area is with West Bengal, thanks to Sundarbans Delta. The highest is in West Bengal, and there is a decline that has been seen in Gujarat. Now the next point is that the forest, this report also gives you the total carbon stock which is stored in various areas, soil, plants, anything. So total carbon stock in country's forest has increased with time. The annual increase in carbon stock is 39.7 million tons. Again, this specific data is not important. Just remember that carbon stock of the country is increasing with time. Also, go back to your environment concept, see what constitutes the carbon stock of a forest area. The next one is about forest fire area mapping. So there are a lot of forest fires that occur in India on an annual basis, and these are located in the highly dense forest or areas with high forest density of the country. So which are the forests? How much percentage of forest is prone to forest fires? It is around 35.47% of the total forest area of the country is prone to forest fires, which is a very sad reality. The next one is assessment of forest cover. This is a new chapter that this report has assessed forest cover in tiger corridors and tiger reserves. So there are 52 tiger reserves and tiger reserves in the area in the country. So the current assessment shows that around 7.8% of the total forest that are there in India, of the total forest cover, is actually located in tiger reserves. See this data, that 7.8% of the country's total forest cover is there in tiger protection zones, and these areas, tiger protection zones itself, they have 74.51% of the total area of tiger reserves. So if you have a tiger reserve, you can very well see that around 75% of the area of the tiger reserve is actually under forest cover, which is a very good thing. Also, the other new chapter is in this report is about climate change hotspots. There are some hotspots which have been identified with by FSI, Forest Survey of India, and timelines have been set that what will their status be in 2030, in 2050 and 2085. So these hotspots have been identified and predictions have been made that where will rainfall increase in density or decrease in density, and what will be the global warming or climate change status like at these intervals in these years in these hotspots. Let's see. So the period 2030 represents near term timeline, which is that coincides with global short term climate action horizon. Just go to Paris COP21, which was about our commitments on like climate change. So 2030 coincides with that, 2050 represents the midterm and 2085 represents the long-term time horizon. So that's why these years have been taken. Now, by analyzing the scenarios studied under various periods, it has been estimated that Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, 4 areas of north of India which are hilly in terrain, they will witness highest temperature increase. So these are tourism hotspots. These are this is the area where, you know, monsoons of the country depend. A lot of vegetation, a lot of wildlife, biodiversity, everything exists here. And here we see that there would be an increase in temperature. In fact, the highest increase in temperature will be seen here. While these areas, Andaman Nicobar, these lower areas and West Bengal, Andaman Nicobar, Goa, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh are projected to be witness least temperature rise. So that's a good news for them that it will be lower there, but in the Himalayan region it will be very high. So that's a sad state. Now talking about rainfall. So areas which are already receiving a high rainfall, for example the Malabar coast or the northeast, they are expected to witness a more increase in rainfall. For example, the northeastern states and upper Malabar coast of India are projected to experience highest increase in rainfall, whereas parts of northeastern states like Arunachal, Sikkim, northwestern parts of the country, namely Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, where rainfall is already scarce in these areas, and Himachal Pradesh are projected to experience least increase and even decline in rainfall. So what you can see from this report is that the boundaries, or you know, the boundaries between maximum and minimum, the gap between maximum and minimum, they are increasing with time. We are not seeing a very constant or very you know, casual distribution of rainfall or temperatures over India. In fact, the gap is rising. Areas with more which already have a lot of rainfall surplus water available, they'll see an increase in rainfall, and areas where water is already scarce will see a decrease in water availability due to decrease in rainfall. Here the next one is very, you know, a very enthusiastic step. There has been a mapping of forest cover in major mega cities. It has been said that Indian cities are not livable, so we have also mapped here some major mega cities of India and seen the forest cover there. So in terms of all these mega cities that have been estimated, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Kolkata and Mumbai, these are the cities which have been estimated. Out of these, Delhi has the highest forest cover. And let's see what has been the change in forest cover as compared to 2011 to 2021. If this data is not visible, I'm again repeating, download the PDF of this presentation from the link in the description below and see it for yourself later. This is for Delhi. Delhi has the highest forest cover in all these cities. Also, there have been 2 cities which have seen a decline in forest area. Which are these? The first one is Ahmedabad. You know, in Gujarat, the area under mangroves has declined, and in Ahmedabad, the forest cover has declined by 4.8%. The second one is Bengaluru. It has seen a decline in forest cover by 4%. All other cities, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Kolkata and Mumbai have seen an increase in forest cover, and the highest increase has been seen in case of Hyderabad, which is 14%. And this is the the highest increase has been seen in case of Chennai, but that is not in consonance with area. So it is the highest according to area is in Hyderabad, but highest in according to percentage is in Chennai. It is 26%. So just keep this data in mind, that which out of these cities which have been estimated and which one has the highest increase, which one has the and area under which cities has decreased forest area. So these were the main points of India's State of Forest report. The next thing that we are going to discuss today is tiger census report. You know, these few animals, tiger, lion, elephant, these are recurrently asked by UPSC prelims. In fact, every consequent year, one or the other animal is asked, and we will discuss the tiger census report, that is the latest which we have available. It counts data of the year 2018, which was released in 2019, and it was acclaimed by, it was a part of Guinness Book of World Records, as we saw last year. So we will discuss this in detail, and a lot of questions from regarding tiger can be answered directly if you've studied this report. So this All India Tiger Estimation or the Tiger Census is released every 4 years, and it is released by NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority. NTCA is a statutory body. It was formed under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. In 2006, this act got an amendment, and this body was formed. This is headed by Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It is not headed by Prime Minister. Keep that in mind while answering your questions. So it is the authority which releases this census, which carries out the census every 4 years. So this, as I was talking about, that All India Tiger Estimation 2018 has entered the Guinness World Records for being the world's largest camera trap wildlife survey. Earlier, what used to happen was, while estimating the number of tigers in a conservation area or in a forest, we used to look at the paw marks available. But now, this time, it has been seen that camera traps have been put into place, and tigers are actually photographed. Then through this M-Stripe software, their stripes are seen that so that tigers can be differentiated from each other, and on that basis tigers have been counted. Almost 85% of tigers have been counted using this technique. So that's why this census has entered the Guinness Book of World Records. So this tiger estimation has been carried out regularly since 2006, and it is steered by NTCA, as we read about it earlier, and it is technically supported by Wildlife Institute of India, and it is implemented by state forest departments and their partners. Whatever research or forest universities that are there in place, they all come together and take a part in tiger estimation or tiger census. So in this survey, we got to know that the number of tigers in India has increased to 2967. So it is around 3000 tigers that we have in India presently. This is the report from 2018, and we have seen a 33% rise from the 2014 report. So there is a 33% rise. Also, India is a home to 75% of the tiger population of the entire world. So it's an important animal for us as well as for the world, since India is home to 75%. And as I told, that 83% of these number of tigers that have been estimated, they have been photo captured. Now we'll talk about what is learn that what is the tiger population that is there in protected reserves. So it is only 65%. So apart from 65%, whatever are the tigers left, they are outside of the reserves. So tiger population within reserves is 1923, that is 65% of the total tiger population of India, which means 35% of tiger population still lives outside the reserves. The Northeast has suffered losses in population, and there have been many national parks or tiger reserves in which there is no tiger left at all. The highest number of tigers are there in Madhya Pradesh. The highest forest cover was in Madhya Pradesh, and the more the forest, the more the biodiversity. And the second number is in Karnataka. These facts have been regularly asked by UPSC as statements of a particular question, and you cannot reach to an answer unless you know these facts. There are 3-4 statements given in environment questions, and you need to learn these facts to be able to answer environment questions. Chhattisgarh and Mizoram are the two states which have seen a decline in tiger population, and other all states have seen a positive increase. Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand is been known to have the highest number of tigers, followed by Nagarhole Tiger Reserve in Karnataka. So there are 2 tiger reserves in which 0 tigers are left now. The first one is Dampa in Mizoram, and the second one is Buksa Tiger Reserve, and the third one is Palamau. There are no tigers left in these tiger reserves. So keep this information in mind. The next point is about St. Petersburg Tiger Summit. This is very important summit. In the world, there are 13 tiger range countries, and India is one of them. In 2010, it was decided in St. Petersburg in Russia. All these countries came together, and it was decided that they will be trying to double the tiger population. By 2022. So whatever population of tigers was there in 2010, the target was to double it by in next 12 years, that is by 2022. India has already doubled its tiger population 4 years ahead of the target. It already doubled it 4 years back. So we are way ahead of the target, and tiger population in India is increasing. It has been seeing a positive rise. So the first thing to remember here is that you have to remember about St. Petersburg Declaration or St. Petersburg Summit. Global Tiger Day is celebrated since 2010 on July 29. So keep a track of these dates. A lot of information is released by Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change on this date. The 13 tiger range countries have to be kept in mind, especially which are neighbors of India. India is there, Bangladesh is there, Bhutan is there, Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Nepal, Russia, Thailand and Vietnam. Pakistan is not there. So just keep that in mind in case a MCQ is asked from here. And the resolve has already been fulfilled of doubling tiger population. And we have Project Tiger in place, which is a centrally sponsored scheme for protection of tiger in India in the designated tiger reserves. A lot of reserves have been set up under the Project Tiger initiative. So keep this information in mind. See, this was about these two important reports, or one of them was census. Learn everything that has been discussed here, download the presentation, assess the graphs and the charts that have been given. We have not given you direct data because it is very hard to cram. Just go through graphs, go through all the data charts that have been given in this presentation and analyze them, and what you find good, what you find bad, which cities are doing how and which states are doing better or which countries. If you have this analysis in mind, you will definitely able to handle a lot of questions from this part of the syllabus. And also we'll be coming out with the second part of this report session for environment very soon. So stay tuned, keep working hard.